Hi everybody, it's Meg from Books Off the Beaten Path, and I just wanted to say welcome to all of my subscribers. Really getting those numbers up there, and I appreciate that. So on this channel, we talk about all things vintage, classic, eclectic. We talk about a lot of things. But today we are going to talk about Dorothy L. Sayers' Strong Poison. Now, it took me a while to read this, a little longer than it takes me to read an average book, because it was so intricately plotted. Let me see if I can just give you an overview so you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so we have Sir Philip Wimsey, which this is supposed to be a representation of, and he is an amateur detective. And then we have Harriet Vane, and Harriet Vane is a beautiful young woman who has been imprisoned for the arsenic poisoning of her boyfriend, Philip. Now, the situation is that nobody but Harriet really could have done it, because Harriet gave him some coffee that she did not drink, and he was the only one that drank. And this is all in one evening. But before he had dinner with his cousin, and all of the food at dinner was eaten by other people, and nobody else got sick. And so you think to yourself, you're like, okay, Dorothy, we know Harriet didn't do it because, I mean, we just know that Lord Peter Wimsey is going to get her off of there. But how exactly did this happen? And then there's a will involved in it, and the will is missing, and we have to find it. What I thought was fascinating about the whole thing was I have read Dorothy L. Sayers before years ago, and I've enjoyed her, but I didn't get I got a bigger kick out of Lord Peter Wimsey in this one than I had in the ones years ago, because I don't think I was mature enough to understand him. He's a little farcical. He can be a tad effeminate, but he also wants to marry Harriet. And he wants to marry her. He's never met her, but he just thought she was so beautiful there in court that he wants to marry her. And she says, no, I don't want to marry you. I'll live with you. Now, this book was written in, let me get copyright here. You know how I love my copyrights. La, 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 little musical interlude. 1930. So I think that's kind of shocking. She says she'll live with him, but she won't marry him. And the reason she won't marry him is because if one or the other gets mad or bored with the other one, then you can just leave. You don't have to file divorce papers or anything like that. You can just get out of there. But anyway, back to the story. So what Lord Peter does is he delegates a lot of stuff. He finds people that can do things for him, that can investigate for him, and he convinces them to investigate for him, and then they bring him back the information. And I'm telling you, the ending is super clever. It really is clever. Dorothy did a fantastic job all the way up until the end. But then when she laid it all out at the end, it was one of those Agatha Christie moments when you were like, oh my God, of course. Of course, it was right there in front of us the whole time. But you had to get through the different investigations and finding the will and going back through, all the food. We went back to all the food, I don't know how many times. And with the coffee and everything like that. And Harriet Vane, of course, owned arsenic and was known to use it to kill rats. And it was just a mess for Harriet. Anyway, it was, I think, a really wonderful read. And I'm going to give this 5 stars. If you want to read a classic mystery, golden age mystery that has a lot of plot twists and a lot of red herrings going on, this is the book for you. I super enjoyed it. I hope you guys will super enjoy it. My next one up is going to be Waiting for Marcy, which was the one that was recommended to me. And so by one of my subscribers, and I can't wait to read that, and it's a vintage. And I hope it's getting cooler where you are. It's getting cooler where I am. So anyway, you guys have a fantastic Tuesday, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will check you next time. Bye.